this is Liz from People I Think Are Cool, a bi-weekly podcast where I interview my favorite creatives from across the globe. If you're looking for a dose of creative inspiration, then go to peopleithinkarecool.com or subscribe to People I Think Are Cool on iTunes and Stitcher.
You like film, from cult to classic, from blockbuster to B-movies. And there just isn't that one place with all the fan fervor and passion that's covering the kind of mad, diverse brilliance that you love.
Well, that's where you're wrong.
AfterMovieDiner.com is that fan-built movie nirvana just for you, featuring the sweet, sweet writings of the wife dork herself. AfterMovieDiner.com. Go there. Be the best you can be.
The official podcast of the Alamo Drafthouse, Winchester.
Welcome to another edition of the ITMODcast podcast. Joining us is Brian Young, the Turtle Dork.
Hey, everybody.
And also joining us is Lisa Gullickson, Wife Dork.
Hello.
And Brad Gullickson, Mouth Dork.
You wanted to tussle? We tussled.
Billy Das, Indie Dork.
What's up, everybody?
Yep. And I'm Darren Smith, the Disco Dork. And welcome to another episode of the ITMODcast podcast. Still awesome.
I want to circle back around. I've got a quote now.
And also joining us is Lisa Gullickson, Wife Dork.
You don't have an extra clip I can use, do you? I just took the top one. I
That's
didn't have a
good
quote.
quote.
I didn't.
Back into your hole.
Oh,
You are in Leavenworth? That's also
That's
a good one.
No, I'm not the only...
They're
Out
going to
of what,
shoot
20?
Midge.
Oh, good one.
What? Ladies and gentlemen,
No,
we're
they're
here.
shooting Midge.
Yeah.
No, Frank, they're trying to open up your safe.
Brian, go back in your hole, motherfucker. Look, we're here to talk about, to announce that our next film in this still awesome series,
Number 4.
Steven Soderberg's Out of Sight. Number 4. Already.
4.
Yikes, we're chugging along. Steven Soderberg's Out of Sight.
We're going from 2011's Attack the Block
Yes.
to back in time
Yes.
to 1998.
Yes.
Steven Soderberg's Out of Sight.
Out of Sight. This is the Turtle Dorks jam. I don't know if
love
our
this movie.
listeners know.
I love this movie.
This is a staple of Brian. Brian used to always talk about and or watch this movie.
Yeah.
So much so that when he was in film school or video production school, whatever school he was in, for his little homework project, he decided to shoot a reenactment of a scene from this movie.
Yes.
Whoa.
Yes.
Yeah.
I did. And it was starring yourself.
Which scene?
What?
It's the scene where George Clooney, Jack Foley meets up with Karen Sisco at the diner after she's being hit on by the other three guys. That's my favorite scene. That's one of my favorite scenes in cinema. I love that scene. It's
That's amazing.
It's a almost a perfectly edited scene. Everything about it, the music, I absolutely love that scene, and so I wanted to. And for one of my projects, I forget what class it was. I think it was my editing class. We had to recreate a scene from a movie, and that was the first scene that came to mind. I wanted to recreate that scene.
Not like Darren in the trunk with another Darren.
Ooh, I would watch that.
I don't know if I had the skills to do the
The double Darren?
You
The
need
double
the
D?
double
You don't
Darren?
even have
Whoa.
you don't even have the Darren to put in the trunk,
no,
let alone the skills. You could have all the skills in the world. You still don't have a Darren to put in the trunk. Because that ain't getting in the trunk.
Yeah, I mean, you know.
So does this clip still exist somewhere?
I
Yeah.
do. I actually think I have it up on YouTube somewhere, so I can
So
definitely.
we should throw that in the show notes,
I'm pretty
right?
sure you got to get
Yeah.
approval to put that up.
Maybe I was actually going to
No,
maybe try to.
I'm telling you.
I
you
think we should get
approval.
approval from Andy to show it on the big
I
screen.
was
Oh,
thinking. Now,
shit.
the resolution is really low, so I don't know how it's going to look on the big screen. But it would be kind of cool to have that as
Well,
part
if
of the
it's
pre-show.
would
Darren's mug, it's going to be fantabulous. At what
no.
hair stage?
Yeah,
were
yeah,
you
what age
in?
is
This was I was still in the army, right?
Yeah, this was 2007 or 8. So,
Oh yeah, I was still in the army.
Oh,
My hair
shit.
was like shaved.
Yeah, it was shaved. I remember.
Dreamy baby Darren.
Yeah.
But yeah, absolutely love this movie, and yeah, I think it's one of Soderbergh's best, especially during this time period.
It's my favorite Soderbergh. Well,
Oh,
what's
really?
interesting about the movie is, he came on the scene late 80s, early 90s with Sex, Lies, and Videotape.
Yeah,
that was
yeah,
like
yeah.
a revolutionary,
It's a good movie,
independent
too.
film. Great movie.
James Spader. I think?
Yeah, James Spader. And then after that, he had a series of misfires. Kafka, King of the Hill, The Underneath, Schizopolis.
Ooh.
And, you
I
know,
don't think I've heard any of those.
there's a reason. Actually, I kind of like The Underneath, and Schizopolis is interesting. But yeah, so he had not like ascended immediately after
Okay.
Sex, Lies, and Videotape, but then here comes 1998, Out of Sight. And what's interesting about that is the year before, in 97, Tarantino did Jackie Brown.
Okay.
And he was pretty buddies, being part of the Sundance crowd,
Yeah.
with Soderberg, and they co-produced this together.
Now, was this the year that he had the Limey come out? Because I know the Limey.
The
and
Limey
Out of
came out the next year, in 1999.
Nine. Okay, because I thought the Limey and Out of Sight was
The
the
Limey
same
came
year.
out after.
Yes, Out of Sight happens, then The Limey happens, then Aaron Brockovich and
Okay.
Traffic happen in the same year. Then we go to Ocean's 11, and
And
then
it's his career
you
too.
know,
I mean, so pretty much Out of Sight was really when his
Yes,
career started
yes.
to. Interesting. Okay.
And
okay.
this time in the 90s, you know, in 95, Barry Sonnenfeld did Get Shorty.
Yeah.
And suddenly there was a lot more interest in adapting Elmore Leonard novels. So Get Shorty leads to Jackie Brown. Also, Paul Schrader directed a terrible version of Touch with Christopher Walken, Skeet Ulrich, Tom Arnold. Not a good movie.
I can't picture those guys sharing a scene.
It's a weird film. Bridget Fonda also. And Skeet Ulrich is the lead.
Ooh.
There's a ceiling
I'm
there.
sorry I laughed.
There's a, you know,
You know he's listening.
I love him in Scream.
It's great. It's great.
But anyway, so Out of Sight happens, and Out of Sight is also cinematically connected to Jackie Brown because Michael Keaton does an uncredited
That's right.
return as Ray
From the same-
Nicolette
same character.
from that film. Also, although in Jackie Brown he's with the ATF, and now he's gone over to the
FBI, yeah, and some great
Man.
scenes with him and Dennis Farina, where he's kind of, interrogating him for dating Jennifer Lopez as Karen Cisco. It's got some great stuff.
Yeah, Farina's so good with Keaton, and Keaton's such a putz. But the first thing that really attracted me to this film was the structure of the narrative. It's hopping all over the place, and it doesn't key into that fact right off the bat. So you have to catch up to its timeline.
Yeah.
And it has some amazing reveals in store towards the end of the film.
And that works in the film's favor too,
yeah,
especially with that opening scene, and then to find out what leads him to go to that bank.
Yeah.
And yeah, the structure of this movie, I think it does kind of like peel back a lot of, shows you a lot of what's going on with the film and some of the story.
And George Clooney at the time, he had ER. He had done From Dusk Till Dawn.
Yeah.
He was struggling to find his place as
Batman and
a
Robin.
leading actor.
Oh man,
Batman and Robin, The Peacemaker. Yeah, lots of choices being made.
The Peacemaker.
I do like the Peacemaker too, actually.
All right, well, we all have to vote on the Still Awesomes, and The Peacemaker's not getting it.
I wouldn't
guys.
put it as a still awesome level of movie, but I do enjoy watching that.
Okay. Darren slid under the table. Doesn't even want to make eye contact with you guys. But let's talk about a great movie that's not up for debate. That is definitely still awesome. Out of Sight. This was a homework assignment on the In the Mouth of Darkness way back when. I gave it to Lisa.
Yes, and I enjoyed it very much. Plots and schemes. There's elements to figure out in this movie. Also, kissing. It's a super sexy movie.
Yeah.
It was actually voted. It was in Entertainment Weekly's 50th sexiest movies. That's hard for me to say for some reason. 50 sexiest movies ever, and it ranked as number 9 of their top 25 modern romances.
When was the list made?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. I was just curious.
2,000 years ago.
What I really like is a lot of the side characters in this movie. I mean, of course, the movie George Clooney and Jennifer
J-Lo.
Lopez, J-Lo, are
Jenny from the Block.
Jenny from the Block.
To her friends.
She is still.
They're great as the leads in this. But if you look at like what this movie is surrounded, like when you look at people like Steve Zahn and Don Cheadle and Isaiah Washington, and
so good at this.
like we
I
mentioned,
think
yeah,
Ving Rhames in this
Yes.
movie?
Ving Rhames, and even like I saw Catherine Keener is in this.
She's awesome in it.
Luis Guzman.
Yeah.
Everybody is just. It's just peppered with all these great
the
actors.
scene between Luis Guzman and Catherine Keener.
It's awesome. It's
Perfect.
And great comedic timing in that scene too. It's awesome.
Elmore Leonard is made for cinema, right? Because his books are just wall to wall dialogue, and he has that His Girl Friday rat-a-tat style that's so engrossing. The edge of the seat doesn't necessarily come from the thrills, but the dialogue and what's going to be fired out of some character's mouth next. It's really fantastic.
Yeah. I love it. Ving Rhames and everything with his sister, his whole story, I think is really, really fascinating.
Yeah. There's the time inside the prison and the time outside of the prison, all the stuff with Albert Brooks and George Clooney trying to navigate Don Cheadle's terror within the gates of the Florida prison system is just really, really... That poor goldfish, man.
Oh, yeah. And even as you talk about like how it plays with the time, it also plays with that geographically and the look of the film. So like a lot of the prison scenes, a lot of the stuff in Florida is so brightly lit with vibrant colors. And when you get to Detroit, everything is just kind of muted with like these blue kind of tones.
Yeah.
And I like how you have that contrast
and
between the different
Soderberg
looks.
would take that style into Traffic, where he would have the 3 stories with the 3 color grades.
Yeah.
The last time I saw Out of Sight was maybe it was that homework for the homework assignment.
I'm thinking you didn't.
Maybe I didn't watch it then, because if that's the case, I think the last time I saw that movie was when I was working on the thing with Brian, and even then I only watched that scene.
That scene probably, yeah.
And
have you seen this movie?
I've seen the movie, but what I'm getting at is, if I didn't watch the whole thing and I only watched that scene, then the only other time I saw that movie was the first time I saw Out of Sight.
I saw this in theaters when it came
Same.
out. You did? Yeah. I don't know how it was I don't know how it was received.
No, it did well. It wasn't like a monster hit, but it was. It did $12 million opening weekend in 1998 dollars. It was in June. Opened in number 2.
Yeah.
Does it say the budget?
Mr. Yanni McYonnerson.
Sorry, my bad.
Budget, it was $48 million. It ultimately ended up making $77 million.
Okay.
What is it about Out of Sight that you think makes it still awesome? That if for the people who are going to come see it, that they'll still enjoy it.
Movie, right? It is visually arresting. The script is phenomenally constructed.
Yeah.
The dialogue is stunning. The performances are great. And it's not just like Brian was saying. It's not just J-Lo and George Clooney. It's this massive cast.
Yeah, but also J-Lo and George Clooney are.
They're so good.
They're great.
Yeah.
I mean, this
Like,
is
they crush
easily J-Lo's best performance.
Oh yeah, this and Money Train for sure.
I can't tell if you're being serious or not. I like Money Train.
I know, I do too, Billy. I really like that movie. But it's not U-Turn? Not U-Turn?
Oh shit.
No, I mean, I kind of like U-Turn. I don't know if I like Jennifer Lopez in U-Turn.
Okay.
And I don't know if I like U-Turn or I just like, whoa, U-Turn. Oliver Stone.
I know.
I don't think I've seen that. I got to check that out. Maybe.
But, a couple other performances I want to point out before we go. Nancy Allen as Midge. Not the maid of Albert Brooks, and Isaiah Washington. I think this was the first film I ever saw him in. He's the guy. He's incredibly menacing. He's the one who wants to tussle with J-Lo and learns to regret it. He's pretty scary though. He's pretty scary in that scene until he's not. And Out of Sight, it was like a little bit of a big deal. It spawned a TV series, Karen Sisko, that did not last long.
Yeah.
Carla Gugino played Karen Sisko in this instead of Jennifer Lopez.
Yeah, I think it was only like one season.
Yeah, and Robert Forrester was her dad instead of Dennis Farina. It was good.
Okay.
Like Like closely after the movie came out?
2003, 2004.
Yeah.
What the
fuck?
I don't. Okay.
Whose show was it? Do you remember?
I think it was on CBS.
Yes,
it was a network show.
It was a network show.
Well, around that time, yeah. But I want to say it was CBS because I remember the advertisements for it. Because when I saw it, cause I think the show was called
NBC.
NBC. It was called Cisco, wasn't it?
Karen Cisco.
Oh, it was called Karen
Did
Cisco.
it tie into the movie? Did they?
No.
Oh, okay.
Okay, yeah.
Dang. Huh. Didn't know about that. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing it on the big screen again.
Yeah, it's going to look great on the big screen.
Yeah.
One last question I have for you, Bro. Anybody? Now this is part of Andy Winchester's Noir-vember.
Yeah.
So would you consider this a noir film?
Are we talking to Andy at the moment? Is Andy listening?
I would assume he is.
Then yes, it is. I would definitely consider it a neo-noir and fits right perfectly in with his film club selection.
There we go then.
Okay. All right. So look, tickets are on sale now. If you haven't gotten them, please do so. And come out and watch a really cool film.
I'm gonna get into character by I'm gonna ride in the trunk all the way to Winchester.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
What?
Yeah. Here's my question.
Are you gonna
though.
Facebook Live it?
Yes.
Please do that. You should Facebook Live.
It's just darkness.
Brad is driving me to Winchester. I'm in the trunk. Don't send help. It's all fine.
I volunteered for this.
For our last 4 screenings, we've all had something to give the audience, right?
Yeah,
so for like Men in Black, we had sunglasses and cockroaches. For Zodiac, we had graham cracker cookies and the I'm Not Paul Avery buttons. For Attack the Block, we had bandanas and alien fangs. What do we...
Tincture of sexiness.
Oh. I know, just a quick goose on the way into the theater.
No, I don't think that's a good idea.
Huh.
But put your thinking caps on.
Out of sight.
Because we're gonna screen it on November 19th. That's a Sunday.
Is there? I know this may be a safety hazard. I don't know if we can get fake ones, but Zippos.
Oh.
So I was thinking about that. You can actually get officially licensed out of sight Zippos. It's a little expensive, but
It's the 18th.
it's the 18th.
18th.
Yeah, 18th. That's Sunday. Yeah.
Sorry. I apologize. Thank you, Billy, for being Jenny on the block on this one.
What?
Right, she knows dates.
What?
But yeah, Zippos.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I could think of that's really like some type of memorabilia from that film that I can think of. I don't know anything.
Yeah. Now, in previous action packs, like at Die Hard, they had lighters that they handed out. I'll talk to Andy.
Real lighters?
Yeah, real lighters, yeah. Because every time McClane would light up in the air vent, you'd have to flick the...
Okay. I didn't know if it would be a safety hazard or not, but Zippos could
We'll
work.
ask Andy. We'll get everything cleared.
There we go.
Andy.
Really? Fire in the... Man, I kind of wish I'd gone to that.
Yeah, that was pretty great.
I do enjoy fire.
Yeah, but I don't think they've given out lighters
Since
in a
then?
while. Yeah.
And-
But
and
they
in
said
fact-
the action pack on them.
Oh, cool. Okay, if they said the action pack on them.
They said action pack.
All right. So yeah, get your tickets now. They are still available, and come hang out with us and watch a really cool film. In the meantime, you can follow the podcast at ITMODcast on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. You can follow Brian at the Turtle Dork on Twitter, at the Turtle Dork 1 on Instagram, and at Brian William Young on Facebook. Wife Dork is at Sidewalk Siren and at Baked Dork on Twitter and Instagram. Brad Gullickson is at Mouth Dork on all social medias. And Billy is at WB Dash on Twitter and Instagram. And I'm Darren Smith, the Disco Dork, on all social medias. That's going to do it for us. Enjoy the rest of your week. Be on the lookout for our Fistful of World War II in honor of the release of Overlord. Yeah, so enjoy the rest of your week. Thank you all for listening.
We could give out hatchets.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Yes.
Not hatchets.
Okay.
Oh, man. All right. Enjoy the rest of your week. And until next time.
Hatchets.